gentlemen, brothers and sisters, friends, enemies, and comrades. This is Kenya Revolutionary. I am going live today from outside. I'm outside today. I'm outside. The weather is really nice. I'm enjoying the weather. It feels like spring already. We're in the middle of winter, but it's sun is shining. It's warm, so I felt like I should make a video while I'm outside. I'm Yaji. Anyway, karibuni sana, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, friends and comrades. Um, I just want to talk about Ruto's plan. Ruto is winning. Ruto is winning. Ruto is winning. Ruto's plan is working. He's on his way to succeed. Unfortunately, I have to say that. I have to admit that because the more people I talk to, the more Kenyans I talk to in depth, if you have a conversation with them in depth, you realize that these guys are not serious about taking out Ruto. It's more about, um, wanting their own, you know, tribal chieftain to kind of take over from Ruto. And if you look at the tribal chieftain that they're talking about, he or she um, is just as corrupt as Ruto. It's part of the political elite, people who cannot really offer anything at this historical juncture we are in. But anyway, like I said, listen, the more I look at things, I hear a lot of discussions in various platforms. I am more convinced that Ruto is probably going to stay in power till 2032, or if he, changes the constitution, which is a possibility once Raila Odinga loses that seat. Is it next week or the week after? He's going to come back and they'll finish off that plan of implementing the NADCO reports, which the next step was to change the constitution. So we are going to head to the referendum, have a referendum very soon, and the constitution will be changed. Listen, the more I listen to a lot of people, Kenyans talk, speak, all these people. I mean, how can you seriously sit there in 2025 and convince me that Matiangi, Matiangi should run for president and become the president of Kenya? That Matiangi is a good government, whatever. I mean, I'm getting more gray hair because of Matiangi. Otherwise, I'm enjoying this weather. Listen, um, I am just going to be honest with you guys, man. Listen, I am starting to get really discouraged by most of you. People, I've discovered that people don't want change. Let me just say that Kenyans, all these people you see on different channels or stuff, whatever the case is, they don't really care about change. They don't. They want change. They claim they want change, but really what they want is their own, you know, um, own political party leader, whatever the case is, to become president. They don't want change. They don't care. All these problems that we're facing, and I'm not saying all Kenyans are like that, but majority of the people that you see out here in these different platforms, um, they are not interested in real true change, real overhaul of the system. They're not. They don't care about that. They do not care about that. They don't care about the total overhaul of the system. They use these problems that you see we complain about. I mean, how long have we been complaining about tribalism? How long have we been complaining about corruption? How long have we been complaining about the despots that have been presidents and whatever the case is? Ukabila, lack of infrastructure, poor infrastructure, uh, lack of jobs, unemployment, all this stuff that we talk about in Kenya. I mean, we've been talking about that since Kenyatta won in 1963. And here we are, 60 something years later. Hmm? Yasiri Okulo, I see you. So I mean, I know you might be asking yourself, why are you saying that Ruto's plan is working? Why is it working? I'll explain to you why it's working. Ruto's plan is working because everyone is playing into his hands. How? It's about tribalism. That's the bottom line. And look, you might not like what's his face? What's his face called? This Kotu guy. What he said yesterday about Kenyans not caring about issues is true. We only highlight and mention these issues when it's time for campaigns, when it's time to make a point against your opponent, political opponent. Oh, you've been in government for 10 years. What did you do? The roads are still bad. There's still unemployment. There's no, all this stuff. We just use that as an argument against your political opponent. But guess what? When you get the opportunity to get to that seat, or your guy, your political whatever ally gets to that opportunity to do something, they do the very same thing, and you'll be happy and you'll be defending that. I mean, there are people who are defending Uhuru Kenyatta in 2025, telling us that Uhuru Kenyatta did all this wonderful stuff. Are we forgetting? Are we that forgetful? That's what I'm telling you. There are people defending Kibaki. Oh, Kibaki did this great job. What? I'm surprised. I know most of the people who were alive when Kenyatta 1 was alive, they're probably dead by now. Hi, Gypsy Corner. I see you. Karibu sana. You see what I'm saying? So majority of Kenyans do not care about real change. I'm sorry to say this. I've been actively involved in politics for the past 2 years, intensely having discussions not only on this platform but other platforms. And when you prod, when you ask questions and you have these discussions with these people, number one, on these public platforms, let me tell you something about these public platforms. That's one thing I want to tell you something. Majority of these people who are involved in these public platforms, they just want to be seen. They just want to be heard. They just want to not even be heard. They just want to be seen as, I know something about politics. Let me brag about my knowledge. It's kind of the same thing when you look at the Citizen TV in the morning. Karibu sana Shimariam nakuona. It's kind of like when you watch all these talk shows, political talk shows on Citizen, Spice FM and all this, and you see these professors, and the one that I like is, not that I like, that I watch, or sometimes like I laugh at, I feel they're funny, is Moloka, I think Professor Moloka, and what's the other one that was talking about M23 yesterday? He uses a lot of big words. What's his name? He sounds poetic. I forgot what his name is. But if you listen to them, they're more interested. They're more interested in, showing the public that they're learned than actually giving you a concrete solution to the Kenya's problem. Yes, Gypsy said it well. The problem with Kenyans is that they're happy to be paid. Yes. People are so cheap. No one wants to sacrifice and do the right thing. I was listening to this other platform, and I was yesterday, and they were talking about, Kenya, if we can just get rid of corruption, public theft, we will solve everything. And I say, no, we cannot solve everything. That's just one thing, corruption, getting rid of, it's not going to happen. In my view, as I came to understand one thing, the number one problem in Kenya is not only corruption. Number one problem in Kenya is tribalism. Number one problem in Kenya is tribalism. It's bigger than corruption and everything else. I'll give you a quick example. Right now, if I was the prosecutor, whatever, DCI, whatever, EACC, whatever the case is, if I go and arrest Matiangi for the corrupt dealings that he had, or for his, him breaking the law during Uhuru Kenyatta's term, if I was to arrest him and take him to the police station, detain him, the whole of Kisii community will be protesting against that arrest and saying that they're being targeted. Same thing, if I was to arrest Raila Odinga today, because he was involved in some shady, whatever, Zavijana, whatever, maize scandal, whatever the case is, and detain him. Huh? Yes, I agree with you, Gypsy. If I was to detain Raila Odinga today, the whole of Nyanza province will be on the streets. Not the whole, but majority of the Nyanza province will be streets talking about, you cannot arrest Raila Odinga. You're targeting Luos. If I was to arrest Uhuru Kenyatta for the atrocities that he committed in his first term, the Murima Nation will go crazy. They'll be like, hey, you cannot, that's our son, you're targeting us, what Murima. If I was to arrest Ruto for corruption and take him to Kamiti, the whole of Rift Valley will be ablaze within a few hours, saying, oh, you're targeting not Wasingishu, Bonde la Ufa. Mount Kenya Dispense School. What about it? What about Mount Kenya Dispense School? I've never heard of it. I don't know what is it? Is it like the dispense thing? Shimari amesema tribalism imekuwa hata kwa wazazi wetu. Yes. Yes. Tribalism imekuwa hata kwa wazazi wetu. Tuliteteana noma sana because I refuse to be married to my tribe. I'm from Central to Western ilibidi wakubali. Oh, the 4 abduction kill. Okay. I haven't heard about it. I will Google it. I haven't looked at it. The Mount Kenya dispense. That's what Gypsy Corner is telling me up here. I need to find out what's that. Do you care to elaborate a little bit? But yes, people, I'm telling you the truth. One thing I have to tell you, if you're going to find solutions, lasting solutions as Kenyans, I have to be honest with myself. And you have to be honest with yourself. It's one thing to say, oh, corruption, oh, this, whatever, these politicians and all. It comes down to us too. It comes down to us. When you're approaching an issue, how to solve an issue. That's why I keep on telling, it's going to be totally useless if you're talking about removing Ruto in 2027. If you're going to replace them with the very same people that have an extensive record of corruption and doing the very same things Ruto has done. I mean, what's the difference between Ruto and Matiangi? What's the difference between Kalonzo and Ruto? What's the difference between Ruto and Karua? You see what I'm saying? But people don't want to have this honest conversation. People care about likes and shares, more views. My channel is bigger, or my channel is smaller, my channel is more influential. Who can I, what? You see what I'm saying? How can I get paid? How can I make money off this? You have people who've been sabotaging other people's channel, like my channel is being sabotaged. Simply because somebody does not want to confront the truth. One Ochungu. I was listening to Andrew Kibe one time. I don't listen to Andrew Kibe because I think what he talks about most of it is not of my interest. But he says something when he came to US and he was living in Texas or somewhere. And he says something really funny. And at first I didn't think about it. I didn't really pay much attention to it. But he says something that was really interesting. He says something that Kenyans, we hate each other. We hate each other. Tumechukiana. Ukiona mwenzako anaendelea, hutaki kumsaidia. Unajifanya tu ukimwona unajifanya sijui nini. They sleep with each other's wives and do all this kind of stuff and all this one. Chuki mingi, jealousy. Instead of lifting each other up, unaangalia inaitwaje? Crab on the bottom of the bucket or something like that. I even don't know how to say it. That's what I'm saying. To be honest with you, I'm really discouraged today. Even though I'm enjoying this wonderful weather, it's end of January, and you know, it's like spring. But I have to say this. It has to be said. If you want to listen to it here or somewhere else, you'll never hear someone else. Watu ambiana. Like I say, in this, those 4 abductions which took place in Nolongo were taken there, and after some weeks they got killed, placed in morgue, covered up. Crap, let me see. Can I get the... Let me see if I can get it. Yeah, there you go. Now I see the live chats. Those 4 abductees or abductions, or whatever the case is, which took place in Nolongo were taken there, and after some weeks they got killed and placed in morgue for cover-ups. That's why, oh my goodness, that's so sad. Yes. Yani walipelekwa nini alafu wakauliwa, and they were covering them up. This is so sad, guys. It's so sad. But now, if you start trying to prosecute the people who are behind these abductions, you'll hear the community who are, for example, if it's Haji who's behind it, I'll Google it. If Haji is behind this, you know, if Haji is behind this and we want to prosecute Haji, utaanza kusikia ati we are targeting the Somali community, or we are targeting this community, we are targeting that community. That's why I want to have an honest conversation with people today. Mukiangalia, I'm telling you, mina nasikia hizi discussions, I listen to these discussions, these platforms, people just want to be seen or heard, which is fine. It's I mean, I understand. It's you know, it's good to be heard. Utoe kwa kifua, and I'm all for it. But people are doing it for entertainment purposes. The fake drama in the court today with the is it Kanja or whatever Kanja? You know, it really broke my heart once I realized it. It took me some time. I thought, mimi could have clear for real what people are passionately want Ruto and people Ruto out so that we can revolutionize the system. That's what I thought we were on. But no. People don't, majority of people don't want to revolutionize the system. They want to keep the system as it is. It is just that they want their own person. Wajaluo wanataka watu wao, Wakikuyu wanataka mtu wao, Wakalenjin wanataka mtu wao wako hapo, of course. Western wanataka watu wao, Wakisii wanataka watu, and all that stuff. And if their tribal chieftain is caught up in a coalition, then that's the coalition to follow. It is not about revolutionize the system. Listen, Ruto leaving the office is not the solution. Ruto leaving the office is not the solution. You think I'm joking? Let me give you an example. What really changed when Uhuru Kenyatta left, because when Uhuru was there, everyone was talking about Uhuru must go, Uhuru must go. So unakumbuka hata Uhuru must go tulisoma. Uhuru must go, Uhuru must go. Uhuru left. What was the solution? What happened? What happened after he left? We got Ruto. Any change? Do we have any change as far as an economy, infrastructure, abductions, extrajudicial killings, nepotism, tribalism, every ism and schism? No, it's the same. We're just changing personnel, but it's the same system. And the people, the lineup that I see up there with the Matiangis and Karuas and all these useless people, it's the same people. But you want to fall into it and they get excited and say, oh, as long as Ruto leaves. Listen, you have to have a conversation with yourself. You have to have that conversation with yourself. And to me, let me say this. I was thinking about this also. Kenya is worse than Congo, but we are blinded. Absolutely. That's why I'm saying Raila kishindwa hii AU and he comes back, okay? If Raila loses this AUC and comes back, the politics in Kenya will intensify. Now, I don't know which side he will lean on. I don't know if he will stay with the Ruto, stick with Ruto, or go against Ruto. But all I know is this. Imagine after wametoka court ndio wamepatikana same script with the Kitengela 3. Absolutely. 2027 might be the year where people, you know, turudi kwa ile msituni. Turudi kwa ile msituni. By the way, for those of you, go watch that video I dropped about Congo, about Kagame, the prophecy about Kagame being assassinated. There's a lady who made a prophecy 2 years ago about Kagame being assassinated by mercenaries, okay, who are, you know, sent there by the West, okay? She made that in Neo, that Kagame will be assassinated. And the reason why I made that video is because when I listened to Kagame's speech yesterday, when he was really abrasive and like I said, he was very, not antagonistic, but he was really confrontational in his language. When he was saying, you know, he doesn't care if South Africa send troops, he will meet them with the equal force. Basically saying, you know, if they want war they shall get, okay? And also there was also another clip that he gave while he was still in Kigali, that he said that mercenaries are the most useless people in a country, okay? And you saw the picture. Miriam, are you confident with the president, with the present Kenya? I'm not confident with the present Kenya. Me, wacha niwaambie tu kweli. Let me tell you something. And you might call me a pessimist or whatever the case is, but I will tell you guys the truth. Wacha niwaambie tu kweli. Vile hawa maaninio, vile tunapangwa na hawa tribal chieftains. I call them tribal chieftains. We call them these political elites. These useless people you see, wakina sijui Karua, wakina sijui Mudavadi, wakina Ruto, Raila, Uhuru, and all this stuff. Let me tell you something. Hawa watu ndio taleta vita hii Kenya. I'm telling you. Kenya, at some point, Kenya will have to learn it the hard way. It's unfortunate, but I see it coming. The deep-seated tribalism that hiyo shida iko hapo hivyo, it's very disturbing. You know. Nani anaitwaje? What's his name? Nyerere, Mwalimu Nyerere. Nyerere saw this very... Nyerere was such a wise man. He knew they had different tribes in Tanzania. Sijui Wasukuma, those people from Dodoma, sijui whatever the case. But Nyerere had a policy of umoja. Akuna, you know, Tanzanians, even if you ask them what, when him Chaga ama when him wapi, they will look at you like you're crazy. Kenyans, even in the diaspora, if you meet them, if they know you're from Kenya, the first question they ask you, when umetoka upande gani wa Kenya? When ni kabila gani? That's the first question they'll ask you. The first thing they'll ask you, I'm telling you. You meet any Kenyan in the diaspora, you meet them hivi, atakuuliza, wewe umetoka upande gani? Or they'll even just blatantly ask you, wewe umetoka, wewe ni kabila gani? You know, Nyerere laid down the foundation, even though Suluhu anaanza kuharibu vitu, you know. But you never hear about tribalism in Tanzania. It's not a problem, but because he saw it. The only way to unify this country is to have everyone have the equal share, equitable society. And let's not, aliona asipropa pi mambo ya ukabila. But Kenya's biggest monster is ukabila. And ukabila comes hand in hand with corruption. That's why fighting corruption is so hard. Ruto cannot fight corruption because guess who's in his cabinet? The biggest thieves are in his cabinet, Murkomen, Nani, and those are people who are from his tribe. At least the Kalenjins, they're not his tribe, but you know, member of the Kalenjin community. Yeni Mnandi, Murkomen ametoka Marakwet. How does that one look? Gypsy, I have to see you to make that judgment. I don't know, I haven't talked to you, so I don't know how you are. You probably don't, I don't know. I'm just making fun of you, but I don't know. Yeah, there's some people who are hard to tell if they don't look Kenyan at all. They don't even look African. It just depends. So mnasikia. So maybe you don't. Gypsy nitumie picha ni kuangalia vizuri. But that's what I'm saying. Kenya's number one problem is tribalism. Hatutatoka hapo mpaka tutoke hapo. That is the main thing. Watch out a rule of law, because think about it. You know, there's some things we don't think about. Tunaisema sema hapa lakini we don't think about, because you think about it. The people at the helm do not want to carry out the Neo. A Kenyan can come in any color or shape. Sawa, Gypsy, I agree. I've actually met a few years ago I met a Mwindi, somebody who was a Hindu. Let me not say Mwindi, and we started talking. I was like, and I told her that I was from Kenya, and he was like, what, Sasa? And I was like, what, huh? And we started talking, and he explained to me that he in Kenya, and it's so funny that we get really along, but you know, yeah. So they come in different shapes and sizes, yes, and colors, and races, okay? But like I say, it's hard to take care of this problem. It's hard to tackle this problem until we handle the problem of tribalism in Kenya. That will not go away. Na utaiona tukienda uchaguzi saizi tunajifanya tu sasa, unaona watu wanajifanyanga hapa saizi, wanajifanya ati we are Kenyans, we are united against Ruto. Lakini Ruto akitoka sasa ndio mtaanza kuona hiyo ukabila sasa. Kwa sababu kila mtu anataka kabila yake ikuwe president. We do not rally around ideological principles. Okay? We don't have a political philosophy. Sisi tu unakuja na manifesto ambayo ume copy paste hapa na pale, alafu unakuja unasema okay, let's go ahead. You know? That's why, you know, it's almost like all this easy mavininio, it's like vipindi. It's good watu wanaenda tunaongea, you know, we feel the spirit of camaraderie when you're on these Kenyan channels, different channels. But really, you know, as far as solutions, I mean, I don't expect to get solutions, but when we are trying to find solutions for our problems in Kenya. No, I'm not saying Ruto is not tribal. He's definitely tribal. Definitely. Definitely. But he is the beneficiary of a system that is driven by criminals and tribalism. He's using tribalism to manipulate the people. because he understands what Nani said, what Atwoli said. I mean, Atwoli sounds like a madman, but yeah, mwenye alisikia Havi juzi alitupa option wenye walikuwa wakisikiza. Havi alisemaje? See what I'm saying? Ruto is definitely a tribalistic person. I mean, look at the appointments. I don't even have to show you. Go look at the appointments on his cabinet. Yeah, they keep, chap, chap, keep, chap, 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 keep, chap, 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 keep, chap, chap, chap. Also, Nyonka said he wished that Gen Z can sweep all of them and start afresh. Absolutely. That's why I was so excited about Gen Z. Gen Z, why do you think it was so effective? Why do you think Gen Z was so effective? It was rallying around the rule of law, the constitution. Alisema we go for Maraga and leave the idiot fools. Yeah, Maraga will be a good choice. I personally like Maraga. I think he's a national hero. Maraga stood when it was hard to stand. Maraga was a real hero. Alistuliwa, that's why he went to that second Ninio. But he did something that most people would have not done. Maraga is the man. My salute to Maraga. And it's nothing to do with him being Kisii. I'm not a Kisii. But Maraga is the man. And he's not the only Kenyan that has stood up like that. There's a few people who stood up. You know. So that's what I'm saying. You know, yes, tunaweza tukakutana hapa tuongee. But if you're going to campaign for a person, Isiolo leaders were given tea, donuts, and 10,000 shillings each at Kindiki office in Karen. Hi. Kindiki is, I don't know what to say about Kindiki. I do not know what to say about Kindiki. Kindiki is just there to, hata sijui niseme nini. How I wish Jessica go for him. But that's what I'm talking about. We have to go back to that Gen Z thing. We have to go, because you know why I like the Gen Z? It's not about and Gen Z are not only a age group. Gen Z is Gen Zote. But I using that word for the sake of that, conversation. Gen Z, they know what Kenya needs to be. Hata kama sisi we are Gen Zs and I'm not personally a Gen Z, but I'm saying, even though they come from different tribes, they understand the common problems that we both all face as different tribes. And they do not want to play these tribal games because they understand that this political class, through their corrupt briefcase political parties and the coalition thereof, are perpetuating this whole idea of mtu wetu, a coalition of several tribes. Matiang'i represent Kisii, Karua, Mount Kenya, Mrima, Gachagua, Mrima, tuweke Kalonzo hapo Wakamba, and it's a tribal grouping. The same thing Raila has been doing past, and then it has always been done since 2002. You understand? Because it's the one thing that worked then. Ruto has given Kindiki money to tarnish Uhuru and Gachagua names. Yes. See what I'm saying? They're doing it because it worked in 2002 when they all came together and removed Moi. And Raila did it again in 2007, which worked, but of course we ended up in a very bad place. So they think this is the method that works. Okay? This is what they want to push. Okay? Karibu sana Principal Kauru. So you see what I'm saying? So that's what they are sticking to. They're sticking to what they know, what have worked for them. It has worked for the past millennium. They think in order to remove the the present regime party, they have to have an alliance of political parties that represent a certain region or deemed to be representing a certain region, okay? Or all these leaders, so-called leaders that represent a certain region. So they come together, then when I say, hii ndio coalition itatoa Ruto. Hii ndio coalition itatoa Ruto. You see what I'm saying? It's the method. That's the only thing they know. It's time to do something new, something revolutionary. And it's there in the Constitution. The first article of the Constitution. The powers lies with the people. Huh? Principal Kaur, don't make me blush over here. Wacha mambo hiyo, utafanya ni blush hapa hata kamera yanguke. I'm just joking. But that's what I'm saying. We have to try something new. And Gen Zs showed us what was new. We cannot rely on this tribal, political, briefcase, regional, parochial, political outfits that really appeal to our ninio. We mi gypsy mkianza hiyo uchokozi hapa nitaenda kulala immediately. Mmeanza uchokozi hapo sijui nini I'm enjoying the good weather. It's been cold. I was up north last week. It was snowing, the roads were nasty. An 11-hour drive took me 16 hours. So I'm back in the south and it's like 60 degrees or whatever the case is. I feel like I'm in Florida. For those of you who haven't been in Miami, oh my Lord, please go to Miami. Miami or Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Fort Lauderdale. That's a place to go if you're going to be somewhere around this place. Anyway, so I'm enjoying the weather today. That's why I felt like doing this live on outside, because there's fresh air. It's like spring all over. You know, people are out there. Not a lot, but you know, it's just I feel alive. Okay. Yes, the plane. Yes, I heard about the plane accident in Washington D.C. There's a lot of theories about that. Conspiracy theory, as some would say. They say that that chopper that was flying, flew straight to the passenger plane, and that chopper, they say that it came from Langley. For those of you who don't know where Langley with Chelsea. Well, I'm not speaking about Chelsea. You want me to be depressed? They were talking about Langley's, the headquarters for where CIA officers are. So there's a lot of conspiracy theory out there, which I will wait till I get more info on what happened. But yeah, it's sad. I don't know how many people are in that passenger plane, but it's a sad thing. You know, my heart goes out to the family members who lost their lives. I don't know who was in that chopper, but we're about to find out. I mean, I haven't been listening to news a lot, so we'll see what happened. It was a military chopper, yeah. So I think it was a Black Hawk or something, or maybe not. I don't know, but yeah. So I've never personally. I hate flying. Flying is like, no, I do not. Every time I fly to, but anyway, my favorite airport is O'Hare Airport in Chicago. That's my favorite airport. I think I flew out of O'Hare 1,025 times, but I love that airport. The worst airport that I've ever been in was in LaGuardia, New York. It was dirty. It was just disappointing. I hate Heathrow, because Heathrow, they had to ask me 1,000 questions before I got to England. I don't know, they thought I was going to steal something or something. I was listen, anyway, just off the topic, I was on my way to Salzburg, Austria, and I went through Heathrow because I had to catch a flight. My flight from Chicago was late to Heathrow, and my goodness, they had to ask me 1,057 questions, fill out the blank whatever, give them 50 forms of identification, tell them my grandma's name and all that. That's why I do not like Heathrow. I would rather go to Schiphol. But anyway, if I'm going somewhere, Schiphol was nice. I never really spent a lot of time there. I wanted to stop on those, weed cafes, but I don't know. So yeah. Gypsy saying Heathrow Airport, they call it the third world airport. It's huge. I So okay, here's the thing though. Let me just tell you very quickly something about England, my little experience with England. I had like a 17-hour layover or something like that. So no. Let me take that back. Yes. I did have like 10 hours layover, whatever the case is. So I landed in Gatwick actually. Sorry, I landed in Heathrow, and my next flight from was supposed to get off Gatwick to Salzburg, Austria. So in Heathrow, I made it through, okay, after 1,057 questions, okay, made it through. Then I had to find a bus. I don't know how the bus system works there, so I had to find a bus. I don't know how the bus system works in England. So I had to ask the lady, and I knew somebody from there was somebody from London that I was calling at that time. My friends, long story, but anyway. So anyway, I went. I think it was an underground or something somewhere. I don't know. It was so weird. Like, so me and Miss Mamapo, I'm looking at how people are doing things. Apparently, you have to go to this wall and get a ticket, put some quarters in or something like that, if I remember correctly. But anyway, I managed to get the bus ticket, and I got into the bus. And the bus took me from Heathrow to Gatwick. And we drove through the famous, what is it, M something? What's the highway that's known in London? M something. I don't know. I forgot that. Whatever. But it was a long drive. It was like a freaking an hour or something or whatever. And it was winter too. Like it was yeah, so it was a nice experience though. The only thing I regret is that I never really got a chance to M25. Yeah, thank you. M25. That's the famous whatever, it's M something. That's what yeah. The buses were okay. They were okay. The bus seats, the seats for the bus look like Chelsea jerseys actually. If you look at the Chelsea blue jerseys that we have. But anyway, so the bus took me down to Gatwick. Gatwick is a smaller airport, and the plane that I took there, oh my lord, jeez. But anyway, that's my experience in England. It's not a lot. Next time I go to England, I want to actually visit, like actually go to the town, go to the, whatever, is it Trafalgar Square, all this wonderful stuff, all these places, Buckingham Palace and all that stuff. But actually, you know what? I don't want to go to usually when I go to a city outside the country, I want to hang out with the locals. That's my stuff. I want to go to those itty bitty restaurants. I want to go to a Jamaican spot. I want to go to Nottingham. They have a nice carnival thing that's going on over there in Nottingham, okay? Even though I'll be a little bit worried about England because I'm scared, watu wanadungana kisu. In America, watu wanachapana bunduki, but in England, nasikia, they don't play around when it comes to that knife game, okay? But I would like to visit, spend more time in London. I heard London is expensive. Actually, London is very expensive. I bought a coffee, niliwapatia sijui dola ngapi, because you have to change it into their money, British pounds. So, end of August Gypsy, nione kwa tent, nione kwa tent huko. We need to organize something. We need to go there. Anakuja. 2 places I have to go. Mpaka niende Ibiza. I have to go to Ibiza. Madrid. Well, it's not in Madrid. Madrid is a different. Ibiza is in Mallorca, I think. Something. One of those islands. Whatever the case is. Yeah. I have a friend who lives in Madrid, so to link up. I like Europe. Europe is new. I don't know about England. Never really, so I can't really say, but Salzburg Salzburg was too small for me. By 8 p.m., everything is shut down. Never really liked it. It was okay. It was okay, but anyway. But I digress. Back to the topic of the day. We're just hanging out, guys. We're hanging out. Just, just say Spain. Mallorca is an island. For what is the? Mallorca is an island. If I'm no Malaga, not Mallorca. There's what's the difference? Malaga or Mallorca and Malaga. Is there a difference? There's one of it is an island, and that's where Ibiza is. Ibiza is also an island. I don't know. I'm confused. But end of August, Carnival, mi nakuja. I just need one experience. Experience moja tu. Let me be. I'm now old, but yeah. Magaluf or Magaluf. The English people call it Shagaluf because of their behavior. But yeah, Greece, Spain, on my list. London, Nottingham. Is it Nottingham? That's where the Nino is. The end of August Carnival. Tuna nakuja. Gypsy nione kwa tent. I'm not playing. And that's when I'll Isle of Wight? No, I haven't. What about it? Is it like a destination, like a great destination place? I will gladly check it out. Can you tell me more about it? Because I'm really looking at, mimi nataka kujiwachilia. I've been, mtoto ameniweka ndio mpaka nijiachilie. Mtoto ameanza kuwa mkubwa so I can misbehave kidogo. At least, but Europe is scary right now with Ukraine. Well, hopefully now Ukraine and now that have you heard of? Yeah, I've heard of Portsmouth. I know the team Portsmouth. I know the team of Portsmouth. Canon Wonku used to play for Portsmouth after he left. After he left Arsenal, I think, I believe, or Southampton. Actually, Southampton. I met somebody from Southampton in where I am. There's like a soccer pub, and I met this lady from Southampton. Yes, Southampton. Yes. So Southampton imesikia. But hiyo kanivua mpaka niende. Hiyo kanivua mpaka niende. Yeah, kabla hii nywele haijakuwa white yote. Baka. I have to. But yeah. You get the ferry to the other side. You get the ferry? What was it? Is it the Thames, whatever? What's Thames? Thames. I remember when we were young in Kenya. Tulikuwa tunaangalia hizi British shows and there used to be that Thames, Thames. Is it Thames River or whatever the case is? I don't know. So yeah, I guess it's a real thing, but yeah. Yeah, but yeah, I'm coming to England. I'm coming. Okay, Thames. I'm sorry. My geography of England is UK, Great Britain, to be exact. I'm just terrible. Okay, I have no. So ikuvuka hiyo river and I have to take an. Okay, I'm coming. Tutaenda huko tumsalimie nani huyo rafiki yetu ambaye ana hack nini hapa. Ana hack channel. English channel? You have to cross? Okay. Oh, okay. Right. And I'll probably take that train to Paris from London to Paris. It's like a what? 2-hour train or something like that. But Paris was disappointing. I think Paris is hyped up. I went to Paris. It's kind of dirty. It's not that great. I mean, there's some places like Champs-Élysées, whatever the case is, Louvre, Madeleine. It's all right. But other than that, Paris is not, Oh, it's called Eurostar, the name of the train? Yeah. But Europe is fun, though. Europe is fun. I want to check out England. I've never been, I want to go to London, West London, see where Chelsea is at. Yeah. and all these different places. But Nottingham, yeah, I have to this time. I have to. So summertime, if South France is good, yeah. Where exactly? Where is South France? I know it's somewhere. Southern of Europe is warm. I know anything south is warm. I've been to. Oh wait. I've been to Marseille. I've been to Marseille. Marseille is by the sea. I went there one summer. When was it? 2000 and it was a long time ago. Okay, but Marseille was, and I was there on. It was what's this? I was there on a Halloween day. Halloween. It was Halloween, October 31st or 30th, or whatever the case is, and I went to an Irish pub in Marseille. But it was so nice. It was so warm. It was like this sunshine. Even at night there was sun, and not sun, but the moon was shining. It was nice. It was by the sea. Marseille is really nice. And I was being warned by Kifika Oko, just watch out, you might be pickpocketed. Nothing. I mean, I've been to different meaning to mta. I had really good fun. Had some barbecue, kebabs at night. So Marseille, yeah. I don't. Anyway, Marseille is not south of France. I don't know what you're talking about. Like, I mean, I've never been. Yeah. Anyway, south is great. Okay, I'll check it out. Definitely. But yeah, Marseille was nice. I mean, I like the food. I like the fact that they stay up late. Like 3 a.m. you can still have like a little. I used to go to this. South Kenya should be great. Yes, but I think Ruto might not be happy to see me, but yes. Malindi, South is always great. Anyway, in South, Southern Hemisphere is great. Okay. Malindi, name it. Where's that? Where's that place? What's that place called? Watamu. Is that place called Watamu, whatever, Kilifi, all that. Huo tutavisit. Tukakunywa maji ya mdafu. Anyway, like what I was saying back to the topic. But you see, I mean, Kenya is a beautiful country. Tukiwache ukabila, which is in my opinion, is the biggest problem we have. Lived in Lamu. You lived in Lamu? Wow, I've never been to Lamu. Lamu is way down there. Way down there. I've never been to Lamu. Lamu is, the farthest I've gone is Likoni. Likoni, because you have to take that ferry and go to the other side. Chudafo, yes, I lived in Chudafo. So I know anything about Chudafo. Chudafo, Chuda Estate, Chudanora. You tell me about it. I went to school up there, so uko hakuna shida. Uko ni nyumbani. Kenya ni home. I will not get lost anywhere in Chuda. Uko ni mtaa. So yeah. Oh, Nyali, yeah. Nyali is a wonderful place too. But yeah, bringing up memories. Ba mimi nikienda iko saa hizi nitakuwa abductee. Kiingia tu hivi. Naingia tu hivi kipa napigia Ruto simu. Ameingia. Mshike. Ameingia. Coordinates nipatia hapa ati ameingia Nyali. Finya hiyo. Anyway. St. Agustino, Mitri. What year? Hebu niambie. What year Gypsy Corner? Hebu tuambie. But anyway, as Gypsy Corner feeds us some wonderful places of where to go and where not to go. Like I was saying, the biggest problem in Kenya is Ninio. Even back in Ninio, I don't even know how much I have in my Ninio. My thing is kind of dying. In the 70s, dang, okay. Dang, Gypsy, how old are you? Gypsy kumbe umekula chumvi, eh? But it's okay. Was it St. Augustine was there in the 1970s? I thought thought it was built in St. Augustine was built in oh, you're just bull crapping, right? Yeah, because St. Augustine was built in when was it built? Late 80s, early 90s or something like that. Unless it was one of those colonial schools like the alliances and whatever that the British own, which I don't know. I don't remember hearing that. But yeah. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, like I was telling you guys, politics in Kenya, it's all tribal. I hate to agree with Atwoli. We don't care about issues. We only use issues when we are making an argument against a political opponent, okay? Now that these dandaheads are outside of the government, wakina Matiangi, you see them you'll hear them on campaign trail talking about abductions and extrajudicial killings and corruption just because Saba Saba, just because they want to make a point against the regime, Ruto, okay? But if you remember, Matiangi was presiding over all this that similarly is happening to Ninio right now. The extrajudicial killing, the corruption, the whatever, he was there, okay? That's why I'm telling you, Kenyans, we need to be honest with ourselves. We need to look for lasting solutions, but it has to start with you as a person. You. Not just me also. Me and you, we have to agree and say that, okay, we are going to rally around an ideology, political ideology, or a political philosophy, okay? Or, you know, if you don't have to be all this genius and talk about, you know, being a social democrat and a communist or capitalist, whatever, Afro-optimist, as Raila would lead you to believe, you don't have to worry about all that. Just say, I will stick by the Constitution of Kenya. If we can, you know, adhere to that, respect it, and let it be implemented as it is. Let's not change anything, not even a dot. As it is, let's deal with it as is. Because the Constitution is a very, very progressive one, the one that we have. These leaders just don't want to follow it. Okay? But we have to be honest with ourselves as a people. Tuache mchezo. For real, tuache mchezo. We have to be honest with ourselves. It's either we do that, or let me tell you something, what will happen. 2027, if we get there, I can even tell you the script. On the election day, even leading up to election day, I had somebody post sijui kulikuwa na mzozo huko Laikipia, and Maina Njenga and his boys are to go there they were being used by Murkomen to go cause some chaos up there. I don't know how true that is. Somebody posted it on X. But all I can tell you is this. Leading up to 2027, there'll be a lot of shenanigans, kutakuwa na a lot of political violence, na kutakuwa na majabu, drama. And after the election, after the IBC announces who's going to be the winner, which is most likely going to be Ruto anyways, don't put your hope on the judiciary. Because by then, the judiciary itakuwa imesha pewa pesa zao. And after that, saa hizo si mtakuwa na hasira mbaya kwa sababu mmekasirikia Ruto ameiba kura. That's when vita itaanza. Alafu vita ikishaisha na mkalose watu, mmelia, mtaanza kulialia hapo, alafu nini itafanyika? Watawaambia ati in order for us to have peace, let them sit down and talk. Herman Manyora will be the first one to tell you. Let these leaders just sit down and talk. That's all that needs to be happening. Let these leaders just come and talk. And you know what talk means? Negotiations. What are you negotiating for? Positions. For who? For them. Who are them? The very people who have been recycled since the late 80s. The Martha Karuas, the Matiangis, the Ferdinand Watitus, the Kalonzos, the Raelas, the Rutos, the Uhuru Kenyatas, all these people, Musalia Mudavadi, all these people, watakaa chini and they'll tell you, you know, we've lost a lot of people in this post-election violence. So in order to avoid that in the future, let's change the constitution so everyone, all these leaders can have like a renewal. Because in their minds, we need ICC to intervene before elections. Yes, but ICC is a very highly politicized, controlled by the West organizations. I mean, can you tell, I mean, realistically, why is still, what? Okay, I kind of know why, but Ruto together with Uhuru Kenyatta shouldn't be free. And I'm not talking about just the case that they were accused of in 2007. I'm talking about when they were in office in 2017, the people that they gunned down, the youth that they killed, okay? If ICC was really truly functioning and is not politicized, a tool that is used by the West to deal with African presidents who are not playing ball with them, these guys should be in jail. Ruto and Uhuru presided over the killing of people in Kondele, Baby Pendo, and all this stuff that happened, okay? These people are perfect candidates for ICC. But no, they haven't been brought. Bensouda has done nothing. So I'm not counting on ICC to do the job. ICC is just a, again, it's a toothless Nenio. I mean, you saw when the ICC declared that Netanyahu is like a war criminal or whatever the case is. When Netanyahu is walking around comfortably, they announced that Putin is a war criminal. Putin flew from Russia to Saudi Arabia and back and to South Africa, and nothing happened to him. So, I mean, no. ICC is a joke. So, yes, it's a nice move to threaten Ruto, but Ruto knows as long as you're at the West, you're the darling of the West, we can count on ourselves. That's what I can say. We have to count on ourselves. The challenge is to make people see the need of galvanizing, coming together to rally around and remove Ruto through a popular revolution. That is the challenge. Because majority of the people are still blinded by this whole idea of, mtu wetu ataingia huko na ataleta change. Matiang'i shall bring change. Matiang'i did a good job when he was an education minister. Ataingia hapo na atamalizana na corruption. While he had a case in Ruaraka, land grabbing. You see what I'm saying? But people cannot see that kuja pamoja vile tulikuja pamoja during Gen Z. That is the key. That is the most powerful thing. Actually, once you come together as that, that's when that power that's under Article 1 is activated. Your sovereignty is activated once majority of Kenyans come together and say, this is what you want. That is when the sovereignty of the people is activated. Because now, as a people, you can make that decision. Military is a tricky one because having the military take over is not a guarantee that we shall have the results that we want. Because we have two examples in Africa. We have the Museveni example and we have the Ibrahim Traore example. Just because the military takes over and removes Ruto militarily, that does not guarantee that we shall have Ibrahim Traore who cares about the country. You can have the military take over, then we end up with a Museveni. Okay? So it can go either way. It's not a guarantee. That's why, I won't, in some cases, yes, but it's not a guarantee. Like I said, the military is not a guarantee. If they have to take over the Kenyan government, it's not a guarantee that they'll turn out as Ibrahim Traore. We might just end up with a Museveni, a military dictator who will stay there in the next, what? How long has Museveni stayed in power? 40-something years or 30-something years? So that's what I mean. So military Neo is not a guarantee. Anyway, my battery is kind of dying, but yeah, like I was saying, this is the thing, and I want you guys to preach this gospel. Our sovereignty is activated if we all gather since you're born. Our sovereignty is we the people, majority of us. Majority is demos, the people. Majority ruled by them. A rule by majority is democracy. A rule by the majority, democracy, demos, people. Okay, that's why we are a constitutional democracy. Our constitution gives the power to the majority of the citizens. But we can't be majority if we are all fragmented. Wengine wanataka Matiangi, wengine wanataka Martha Karua, wengine wanataka sijui nani, all these useless people that have been in government since 1920. Okay? So we can't be sovereigns. We can't exercise that sovereign authority if we are fragmented. We are wasting time talking about 2022 IBC and all this stuff. If we come together as a people like Gen Z did, we don't have to, you don't even need 1 million people. 500,000. 1 million will be a plus. We come together and say, enough is enough. Tuondoe hawa watu, we will choose our own leader. Even if it's Maraga we are going to choose, we choose Maraga. You see a video of a demolished school because Eric Omondi built it. Yes, I saw that. In Turkana somewhere. Yes, I saw that. So that's an example. See what I'm saying? So that's the challenge. Majority of people don't see the need of this. Wanasema, oh, tungoje tu, you know, bado. Yeah? But like I say, the reason why people, Aninio and Ruto and all this, wacha niwaambie kitu. That's why I'm telling you, our kina Maraga, Karua, and all of these people are working together because the main reason, Francis Dorungu karibu sana, the main reason these tribal cocoons, these tribal chieftains are gathering together is to fragment, kugawanya, divide and conquer. They want to play into this tribal thing because that's the only way they get to survive and stay in power. But tukikusanyika kama wa Kenya na tuseme Ruto toka, Ruto has no option, no ninio. He'll have to step down because what wamesema, because we are a democracy. Constitutionally, we are the sovereigns. We the people, majority of the people. It doesn't have to be everybody in Kenya. It just have to be majority of Kenyans. And the mood right now is that majority of Kenyans feel like Ruto is a failure. So why are we waiting till 2027? And it's fully legal. It's constitutional. It's constitutional. This is not just me talking. Go read your constitution. It's there. The people may exercise their power directly. Direct. Mnangoja Matiangi. Matiangi ataingia hapo, abduction itaongezeka, internet itafungwa, mtachapwa viboko, mtapata mwili Rivayala, alafu mtaanza kusema, oh, I'm sorry I voted for Matiangi. And you even hear people say, hata Ruto alikuwanga afadhali. Just like they're saying about Nani Uhuru. And Uhuru was doing exactly the same thing Ruto is doing, if not worse. Exactly the same. Lakini mtaanza kusema, oh, you know, even siku za Ruto alikuwanga afadhali, Ruto alikuwa anatuacha tuweke ninio kwa internet. Mcheze merry go round. So listen, people, I have 10% on my gadget here, so I have to like peel out for a minute. But anyway, I just wanted to talk to you guys and consider that. That's what we should be pushing. That's what we should be campaigning on. I understand some of you are talking about IBCs. I like what Mariam asked the other day. because we were saying ati to register to vote 20 tukavote 2027, and she Mariam asked sasa tuchague nani hata kama tunaenda 2027, who shall we vote for, because all of these people look like they're suspects, all of them. That was a good question. All of them, who are we going to choose then? You see what I'm saying? And this whole idea of saying ati we shall put younger people on the waingie kwa serikali so that they can bring, no, these people will be compromised. Sinuliona wakina Kasmu Elapu and sijui nani Otero, they'll be compromised. Hata hao MP ambao au MP mpya ambao unataka kuvote in 2024, hata ukitoa Ichungwa ulete mwingine, Ruto atamuita kwa State House amwambie this is how we want 10% of trying to send coffee, I'll wait time when I see you. Yeah, what was that, nani? Let me just read that again. 10% trying to send coffee, we'll wait till next time when I see you. Okay, so thank you. Oh, that's fine. No problem. Anytime. So that's what I'm saying. So we have to, the campaign should be, oh, shoot, I have 5% left. More than I'm not saying who do you want. Nani, listen. Wacheni kuuliza ati who do you want? It's not a personnel issue. I gave this as I wind up. I gave this analogy. Nyumba ikichafuka, huwezi hata ukituma mtu ambaye ameoga na amevaa koti ya white nyeupe kama pamba, akiingia kwa hiyo nyumba, koti yake atachafuka kwa sababu nyumba imechafuka. In this analogy, the nyumba is the system. Unaona? So even if you take Matiang'i, who is corrupt, Okiya Mtata, who is corrupt, not corrupt but is a suspect, ukimwingiza huko, he cannot do anything if the system is corrupt, because our MP watakuwa bado wanaiba, wanafanya vitu vingine, they'll be sabotaging. So what I'm saying is this, it has to be a people's initiative. People have to clean this up by exercising their power directly. So the people should remove Ruto and remove the parliament and the senators, the legislative body, and then waoshe hiyo judiciary pia. Unaona? Alafu tukishamaliza kufanya hivyo, ukishaosha nyumba na ukafagia kila mtu nje, na hao kina Raila na Karua nao useless people, Kalonzo, sasa ndio uweke IBC mpya na uanze kuchagua watu wapya, kwa sababu sasa nyumba imesafishwa. Sasa kila mtu akiingia, hata ukiingia na koti ya white, koti yako haitachafuka. Unanielewa? So don't be asking at this point of time, don't be asking about any personnel, because the people you are going to choose are not going to win. Even if they are good people, they're not going to win because the system is captured by Ruto and the political class. Ndio maana unaona hii coalition imetengenezwa. Ndio wanawaambia ati the president of the 2027 will either come from this coalition or Ruto. And either way, whether it comes from this coalition or Ruto, the results will be the same. Corruption, nepotism, tribalism, everything. Every ism and schism. So at this point, juncture, usianze kuuliza ati nani to vote nani. No. That is not the question. What you should be saying at this point is, let's galvanize, come together and clean up the system by removing everyone from Ruto to the parliament to the judiciary. Kila mtu aondoke na IBC yote itolewe, warudi nyumbani wote through a popular revolution. And it can be done. Sin Bangladesh walifanya. Kwani sisi hatuna akili kama ya Bangladesh? That's what I'm saying. Why is it so hard to see this? Because the system is quite the same. Huh? Kenyatta alikuwa hapo, complain na Kenyatta kuna ukabila na corruption. Kenyatta akatoka, Moi akaingia. Moi 24 years corruption ni new, the same thing Kenyatta was doing, akatoka after 24 years. Mkasema ati Kibaki akaingia after 2 years, the same thing, corruption, nepotism na hiyo nini na uuaji, akatoka. Haya, mkatengeneza hiyo coalition yenu, mumtoe nani? Haya, mkaeka sijui nani, Uhuru akaingia. Uhuru is doing the same thing Kenyatta was doing and his father is doing and Moi was doing, anasema the same thing. Haya, mkasema nani, Ruto nani, Uhuru must go. Haya, mkaingiza Ruto akaingia. Ruto is doing the same thing Uhuru was doing, the same thing Moi was doing, the same thing Kibaki is doing, nepotism, corruption, nini. Yani mnazunguka tu hivi kama jinga, mnazunguka tu hivi. Stop asking for personnel, because you're doing the same thing. Hata ukileta nani huko atafanya the same thing Ruto anafanya, the same thing Ruto alikuwa nani, Uhuru was doing, the same thing Kibaki alikuwa anafanya, the same thing Moi was doing, the same thing Kenyatta was doing. So why do you want to do the same thing every time? Si muoshe nyumba ndio muingize watu wapi? Kwa sababu usipoosha nyumba ati unaleta hao sijui akina ati new MPs, new senators, wataingia huko na watanunuliwa na watakuwa the same things, because the system is still rotten. Anyway, guys, I have to leave it there because it's 5% on my gadget, so I have to leave it here. Thank you so much for being the new Gypsy Corner, Principal Kaur, Shima Riam, Francis Irungu, and the other mtu ambaye ameuliza hiyo swali. Thank you so much, guys. I have to leave it here. Thank you so much. I'll see you next time. Peace and blessings, and stay prayed up and be safe, okay? Peace. I'm out.